The white man today will tell you that thousands of years ago, the black man in Africa was living in palaces. The black man in Africa was wearing.
As we raise for a new day, give praise and acknowledge. The sun rays let my black skin turn solidly, absorbing the natural energy. Like the cocoa and yam crop flourish abundantly, like it was meant to be. Eating jelly farm until my gums are numb. But my brothers are still young, guess I should pick them some. I gotta share but a shine without a bruise or blemish. Who would've known we would encounter a fate so hellish? Our strength is unprecedented from here to Kemet. Driven by righteous incentives, we innovative and inventive. My father does metalwork, fire, mold, metal, goldsmith. Warrior tribe will survive if we stay close-knit. We lived our lives through good vibes until the wicked man that lied arrived. Offering brides, waving guns and knives. They came from an ignorant nation, lacking pigmentation. Do you remember compensation of this confrontation?
Man in Africa had mastered the arts and the sciences. He knew the source of the stars in the universe before the man up in Europe knew that the earth wasn't flat. Then if the black man in Africa had reached such a high state of civilization so long ago, at a time when the people of Europe were crawling on their own floor.
When it was taking dead for nothing. Slave ship packed to the back, man in the fam stack, raving and fussing. Rave ran cussing out of when there's something in my last time my regiment and my ways disgusting. Right now I would love a man moving in the space. I'm losing my mind, I need space. Vomit and stress up in the place, so it's sickness. Gotta make your reach, make pace. While we lie down, some cries die down. I do anything to see my village on my eyes now. Good grief for them mama shriek. It's like it's a bad something we ain't ready to see. Ain't nothing this deep, just Moses led the Israelites out Egypt into the great Red Sea. I'm saying, deep down these are the works of a sinister tender. Who can you spend on? Do you remember?
To make these people or enable these people to come out of the cage and come down into our civilization and take it over and pick up to the cloud. What happened? How did they do it? These are the things you should want to find out before you say hooray, hooray, hooray.
I'm sitting on a branch of my mango tree, sucking a Julie, saw a ship and tucking my jewelry. They moored the boat off the shore, it kinda moved me. This is the Mississippi River, not a slave movie. People looking like me, chain, ankle, and wrist. Paleolith, hitting bros and sis with whips. I knew it better, thought I can't let this slide. Suddenly something the crew started burning my eyes. Kicks to my ribs, burning my sides. Plus no one knows that I'm gone. Birds sing a song for song. Soon I'm shackled with them, and the horror goes on. Walking for miles, winter weather burning my corns. Destination unknown, many died, those kept alive became property of the enemy tribes. Should I take my life? I couldn't decide. From master to a prisoner at the blink of an eye. Why?
How could so few white people rule so many black people? This is the thing you should want to know.
Gangster reality. Gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. Gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. My young future, you're limitless. Stay out the box, although you are the kid. Stay close like fingers in the mid. Conditioning will make you think a gun's a better fit. Hollywood gangsters, the Godfather, Al Pacino on the wall, why bother? Waste the nail like Edgar Hoover. It puts blacks in jail. Now that's gangster. Which red or blue pill? Both was the cop's answer. Recruited in a gang full of monsters. Uniform for unification. Enforced gang leaders corruption. Staring at a picture of the queen while they're reading your sentence. And you thought Canada was independent. Now that's gangster. Salute. Gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. Gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. Gangster.
100% wannabes, sneaky small puppets, calling themselves Muppets. Rapper gangster on lips kissing their boys. Smart as the new gangster, put down your toys. I might bring the ruckus, I will bring the noise. Distributing big weight, you must have boys. You must have cops in your pocket to be gangster. Running the treadmill like a street hamster. I don't think you know what news, so I'm telling. Snitch to your subconscious, your brain don't need to get it. Keep doing your thing, I bet you're gonna get it from a bigger gangster than you with a bigger weapon. Lessons still not learned when the streets talk. Take fists in your mouth, unconscious more Z-Pork. That's gangster. When he abuses his force, coming out the Trojan horse like Visigoths.
Gangster, gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. Gangster, gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. The vibration of the language makes gangster disadvantage. Just enough to get you Willie Lynch. Doing 25 lives, now you playing Willie Lynch. Martin had a dream until he got pinched. Now they transfer the oath to the black president, signing off your rights in his white residence. It's all an act, but that's what you get for being black. And adjective at that. It's a trap to have you react like you're making real progress. But the change that they speak of, only in the banker's pockets. Now that's gangster. Ask Rockefeller and the Ringling brothers who knocked down the towers. Now that's gangster. The funny part, we all know the answer. We run recordings with the same conclusions. I heard an explosion. Now that's gangster. It's not what seems to appear. The true gangster handle your civil affairs, but the uncivil appears gangster.
Walk and live, talk and bumbleclad death.
Gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know. Gangster, you like gangster things. Do you know what being a gangster brings? I don't think you know, but it sure looks good on the TV though. I know.
Got him.
My Ricks, me, Lord L, Brother L, Broadcast L, Apocalypse Now. Yeah, real. This is we. The GCP inspired me for real. Yeah. Tick, 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 booyah. With this writ, get flipped straight to no more crawling, no more screw Who wants the amnesty of aid? The me, I'm mine. Lord of my chest, I'm Lord of the mind that I government. Stand with the spider, 100 men. At the front line, stand 90 degrees. No fear for machine, man is supreme. We come again, do you on your knees? That I recommend that they be revealed. Don't die at the end, cause we got no beginning but the movement. She not from here, baby. Check the moon or the tomb or the sun. How about all of the above? Tick, 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 booyah. Time for we booyah. Yeah, I've been saying from a prodigy to other me's, cause of them never gotta be solidly. Now I represent right, moving left. Fool everybody but the Moors. If he made you son, I'm a store too. Forward of the L, right? Length with height. Home is the base, reach safe, bring your light. Runway the night, June circle the 7. Don't know, better start soon. Can't keep it real when your life in the cartoon. Everything came free, but nigga, it'll cost you. Get with your nation and stay stateless. 14th Amendment, pointless to argue. Politics down, getting this cheated. Fully mistreated, no steady, just reaping, not grown, just leasing what's on with up. Rules, wake up. tick, tick, booyah. With this brick, get flipped straight, booyah. No more crawling, no more shoot up, booyah. Amnesty of age.
Backing up cards with cards national. In Northwest, some Ottawa's not my capital. Feds like a Merlin hat, I stay magical. Stand on your birthright square, they label you radical. Flow like libations, every day it's sabbatical. I self-law a master science mathematical. It's tragical, dramatical. This Moorish Othello, I rather black on black, I don't do black and yellow. Compass and square peer trap, Masonic fellows and matrons. Sue them not just sodomites and pagans. Most maroons need to stop saying Jamaican and calling Euros American, they are Caucasian.
Me, I'm a 9. Try to make a 7 here. Try to make a heaven here. Living in the devil's lair. Freedom is a method clear. Color is a spectrum. Don't you see through spares? Color line is a bridge. The programmer was there. In the spell with the magi. Media playing good, but they give me the bad guys. Feeling them, I'm reeling them. Cause I'm Moorish American. This is our land. And that's why we inherited. Tick, tick, booyah. With this brick, get flipped straight to no more pros, no more shoot ups. Booyah. Yo. Yeah, it's me, Mr. L, Mr. Bro, Lord, Raw, shout out. Apocalypse now. Watch the time tick, tick. Then tick.
Yeah.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quickies. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try? Here's a question. Why do some of our people jump over the word Negro? What do I mean? Well, they will say that all these different words mean black, except for Negro, when Negro is the Portuguese/Spanish adjective meaning black. The Portuguese made Negro into a noun in the 1500s, meaning a black object, and placed that label on us after we fell in Spain. Even Dr. John Henrik Clarke said it.
Negro is not a nationality. So they Portuguese or Spanish took an adjective and made a noun out of it. So they Portuguese or Spanish took an adjective and made a noun out of it. So they Portuguese or Spanish took an adjective and made a noun out of it.
An object is not alive, and that is why Minister Farrakhan said,
Most of you Negroes. I'm not insulting you, I'm just saying you're dead. That's what Negro and nigger means.
so why do some of our so-called leaders and scholars say that Tom Mary means black, and Kush means black, and Kabbalah means black, and Moor means black, and Kemet means black, and Heru means black, and Asar means Lord of the Perfect Black, etc. And they will call themselves black people, and some of the other names I've mentioned, yet they will not call themselves Negro, or they will say death to the Negro, when Negro is Portuguese/Spanish for black. So I tell you what, let's do a swap. Let's swap black for Negro, being that they are a literal translation of each other. So Tom Mary means Negro, and Kush means Negro, and Kabbalah means Negro, and Kemet means Negro, and Heru means Negro, and Asar means Lord of the Perfect Negro. Sounds messed up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So let's be real. Every time you say you are black, you are saying you are Negro. Because if Kem is a translation for black, and you identify yourself with Chem, Negro is a translation for black also. So you cannot jump over Negro. And for those who like to say that Moor means black, we will address that statement in the next Common Sense Quickies. Common sense was made before book sense.
Common sense was made before book sense. All you stupid out. All you real stupid boy. All you real stupid boy. I telling all you stupid boy. You're too damn stupid. That's why you just get a head slap and thing. You're a real stupid boy. Now here we have the newbies. The newbies got the chance to sit down with the Supreme Grand Sheik. Supreme Grand Sheik. Sat down with the Supreme Grand Sheik for the Moorish Science Temple of America. There's the stuff right there letting you know what he's Supreme Grand Sheik of. Let me just check the chat just to make sure it's not just me. No, we'll put it to the chat. We'll put it to the chat. Press 1 if you think something's wrong with this picture. Press 1. If you think something's wrong with this picture, press 1. If you know you're a Moor and you know about your nationality and your birthrights, and you know about Moorish Science Temple of America, and you know about sheiks and governors and all that stuff. And this is a theme right now. I'll let you know this is a theme. No, this is a theme. Right? All the wonders, just put it in the chat what you think the issue is with this picture. This is a theme. It's not something that we made up. This is something that, being that we're studious Moors and we analyze everything, we notice things. And it's things that people would consider, that doesn't mean anything because whatever. But no. You get the spidey senses. You get the tingling. You better duck. You don't even question anything. You get the tingling, you're ducking. Now, the same issue that we had with the other newbies who call themselves Moorish consul or whatever. Same exact thing that made the Moors look at that like, hey, hold on a second. What's going on here? Since when is that a standard for Moors? Since when? Since when is it a standard that Moors just take it like, no? The Moors said an interesting thing in the chat that, should put all the stuff down. After this, people should be getting no views, but they're still going to get, because dumb people out there who always keep the BS alive. There's always those ones. There's always the fat whatever for the leech to suck off. So they're always going to be there. Leeches are always going to have food. Now, everybody in the chat is saying, where's the fez? Where's the fez? Because, you know, if you got the camera and all that stuff, then that means you planned to go see the Supreme Grand Sheik. You plan to go. No fez? And then, what I was saying with the more something interesting in the chat, that if the Supreme Grand Sheik is rocking his fez, you must rock your fez. That's no respect right there. Now people, oh yeah, nitpicking at the whatever. No, this is nationality and birthrights. When Moors get arrested, you're quick to film that stuff. You're quick to show that. You're quick to show Moors get kidnapped. But when we try to show you the Moors who are making you people, unconscious Moors, really think that Noble Drew Ali brought you some BS like this? And again, for the record, nothing today that is said relative to this title, Supreme Grand Sheik, has anything to do with Bailey El, because he's an elder. And give honors to the elders, still being around and still being on what Noble Drew Ali laid down. Because there's Moors who are my adepts that rep for Bailey Ill, regardless of whatever people heard or didn't hear, or conspiracy or book that they got or pictures that they got or whatever. When it came down to the Moorish stuff, he's been around this. So when people start getting hype and all that stuff, want to come at Canaanland because they said something and the Supreme, don't even go there. Because that has nothing to do with the man in the seat. This has to do with the seat. It's going to do with the man in the seat. Forget the man in the seat. Because the man in the seat is an elder. And he's going back to generations. Most I could have did was had a phone call with the elder, had my fez on the phone. You call him. Since you got connects, you know the Supreme Grand Sheik and all that stuff. You call him and you ask him the type of conversations we had on the phone. Tell me if there was any BS like you hear these people out here talking about they're against because we're with RV Bay Publications and you don't want to go there and all that type of stuff. You didn't go near none of that. Nothing but honors because we're doing what we're supposed to do. He knows about us. This is all the Moors know him. They can play whatever they want to play, but they know who he is based on this quote unquote seat right now. All these Moors out here know him. Okay, he knows Canaanland Moors. Forget the RV-based status and Taj status and Asir status and Alim and all that stuff. Don't worry about that. We're talking about Moorish Science Temple right now. We're talking about what Noble Drew Ali brought. We're talking about go to Moorish Science Temple and go sing hymns and stuff like that. We're talking about that right now. Has a charter and has a flag up, then has a banner up. or might have the flags on the flagpoles to let you know that they're dealing with government. So he knows Canaanland Moors. Check out how people play themselves because Allah guides the Moorish movement, and you're never, ever, ever, no matter what you do, you're never going to try to kick dirt on Canaanland Moors. We pay too much dues. You know what dues we paid? We were paying dues before we've been in Moorish Science Temple and Moorish Divine Movement. Like, this is not play for us. You know how many youths we saved? That we could look at them as adults right now and see them doing some good stuff with themselves instead of being like these clowns who didn't come to the programs that we were putting on. Programs that we were putting on. Why? Because we realized that adults are full of BS and they weren't going to do anything for us unless we did it for ourselves from the consciousness perspective, not just, you know, whoever out there. We're talking about, you know yourself, you know that you're from Africa and all that. Mad dues. So none of you new people could try any BS. And again, we're putting it on the record. Anybody who ever tried to talk some BS, ask yourself, where are they now? Just go back and check all of our stuff. All the people who we were versus, they're versus stuff because we're wrong and we said something wrong. Oh, they're against Taj. Oh, they're against what RV Bay said. Oh, Annie, you said something. You can't do what she said or whatever like that. Where are those people at who are talking BS? And the fact that they're not around, why are you jumping on the newbie people talking BS? And trying to insinuate certain things because, you know, they think they're cool. They think this is about cool points and thumbs up. That's what they think this is about. They don't know that this is about liberating people. They don't know about that. Playing games. We got more children right now. Wipe up all you people. Whatever it is, you name it. Name the subject matter. Wipe you up. Just because. They don't play the BS. They weren't taught by their parents to play the BS. You're with the Supreme Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science Temple. You don't have your fez on? These are the people that are the representatives of you. The people who have an opportunity of a lifetime. Like I said, I only talked to the Supreme Grand Sheik on the phone. I had the opportunity to meet him. There's ones who are around him every day. Around him where you got videotaping stuff and all that, you uploading stuff. Q&A with the Supreme Grand Sheik and you have your fez on? You're not even worried about if you're not wearing some crease pants or a collarless shirt or something with some whatever on it. You don't have the fez on? You don't get the wiser hood. You're the one with the wiser hood just looking and you get no claps. Violation. And it's no apology. It's shimitar for all you people because you tried to play like you didn't try to play us. You tried to play like you didn't try to play us. Don't forget, You got direct contact to the Supreme Grand Sheik, to the Moorish Science Temple of America. You're talking all this Moorish whatever, and you don't have your fez on? I'm Moorish Science Temple of America, and I'm offended. And again, that seat of power, is not just today it has the power. Power's been riding that for generations. Power's been riding that seat for generations. Now, when you talk about Supreme Grand Sheik, and we look back into the history of it, we already know that there was confusion. But we know that there was supreme violation by adept Moors to think that the information wouldn't come out that they're illegitimate. Because they forgot about Noble Drew Ali and his prophecy that new Moors are going to come with eyes wide open, seeing and knowing. And they're going to carry this out. Forget what you guys are trying to say that what should be carried out. Which is how we got the position of having a charter. Because the Moors who brought us in, who were part of Temple number 1, Grand Major Temple, they realized that these people are playing around with what Noble Drew Ali brought. And when you check the record and you see that when you talk about Moorish Science Temple of America activity from a civic perspective in the open, like not civic perspective that they have Moorish Science Temple, but they're doing civic classes over here. We're talking about taking the civic show on the road as Moorish Science Temple of America. It's Grand Sheik Nature L. And again, he found out that it was BS. That's why he said Great Seal Moorish Science Temple of America. That way none of these people could touch his stuff. Because new Moors are going to come with their eyes wide open. And they're going to carry this thing out. You're not stopping what is supposed to be going on. Regardless of whatever type of games you want to keep playing, thinking that you're doing something. You want to put it on the record that we know that there's a position called Supreme Grand Sheik. We know that. We know in that seat right now is an elder of the Moorish movement. And I'm putting it like this because this is how I got put on. Because regardless, you're going to hear BS about Moors. Whether it's true, lies, It doesn't even matter because you're always going to hear BS. That's a thing. Talk BS about Moors so people don't get down with being Moors. So, you know, cause confusion. But when you strip away all of the things that can cause confusion, and you look at it from its roots view, you see that this man is a living descendant of a time when people were being Moors. For real. That everywhere you go, you're seeing Moors. So there was thousands of people outside of this that were supporting this. And people who have supported this, whether they were part of this or not, they have a place. They paved the way for us to even be doing what we're doing today. For 50 years from now, somebody to be like, oh yeah, Canaanland Moors brought me up. And then they were telling me about something about RV Bay or whatever like that. Like, what the hell is all that? Whenever we go check that out, and we're like floored about what we found on that. Give honors to the Supreme Grand Sheikh in the seat, because he is an elder. And we honor our elders. That's why he can't, because the whole play of what we're about to watch, the whole play is try to get the head of the Moorish movement to denounce or talk critical of our position. Because that will cause controversy. That will make people who are more Science Temple that rep Canaanland be like, hey, hold on a second. The Supreme Grand Sheikh is saying whatever. You know, maybe we really should go check and see if whatever, Cujo's real. He might be a fake more Science Temple. So one, try to use the elder. This is why he doesn't have Fez on, because they're looking at Fez on some other honors level. Because remember, the intentions of him going through this is dishonorable. So you can't do that in the Fez. But you leave yourself open now because you thought you were dealing with some whoever that just started the YouTube yesterday. We already know you people. We've dealt with numerous amounts of agent provocateurs in our time. Numerous amounts of agent provocateurs. We retired people. There's people who used to teach that they don't teach anymore because they try to talk some BS about Canaanland Moors. And they forgot Allah's guiding this. Canaanland's guiding nothing. It's Allah's guiding this. We're just behind Allah, running straight, you know. Like when the fire truck's going and then you just get in that lane. Right? Exactly. Why go to Supreme Grand Sheikh to dishonor another Moor? Because he's an agent provocateur. He's one of these newbies that their thing is punch a guy in the face, get it on camera, and now you get 5 million views. And now you're somebody because you got 5 million views on something. And that's why you're somebody, because you got 80 million followers on your whatever. Like I had hundreds of thousands, whatever, on Facebook. 2% of them people I talk to. Everybody else paying no attention to freaking what I'm doing. 2%. of Facebook friends actually are in contact with, and we actually did something with our time or whatever. 2%. So views, all that BS doesn't mean anything. It's BS, right? And then here we go, right? As soon as the snakes in the grass or whatever get called out or whatever like that, then people are talking about, oh well, you know, it's a living snake still, and you know, we can take it and throw it over there and then let it go over there. But, you know, when the snake got told the first time, you know, we just took your tail off the last time. Come back around again with your stubby tail? Talking about you're going to go record the Supreme Grand Sheik, implicate him in some stuff or whatever like that, that you have against Kudro, because Kudro went in your chat and got you off your game because you're a newbie, you're a rookie. And then you have people in my chat now talking about ruin your reputation. What reputation? You ain't nobody. Came yesterday. What reputation are you talking about ruin somebody's reputation? He came yesterday. Go check his YouTube page or whatever. What reputation are you ruining? He just started yesterday. He has a reputation. That's what YouTube's doing right now. That's what YouTube's doing right now. Is that serious? That a guy started a page 2 days ago, and he's a YouTube guy that I have to be like, oh, I can't talk about him or whatever like that. We can't show his video because, you know what I mean? He's somebody that's true at heart or whatever. Didn't you just hear that we just said that he went to the Supreme Grand Sheik, try to make up some BS? Try to make Canaanland Moors look like a folly? Then you want to talk about, you should have called me. Why didn't you call me so we can talk on the phone about this? Talk about what? What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? Like I said, we're old school. Since Jeru, you know we do. Don't play yourself. These guys come yesterday playing themselves. Oh, because you didn't listen to Jeru. You want to listen to some BS. Jeru told you you're playing yourself 2 times. But nah. You want to give people passes. Oh, he has a good heart or whatever. The whole reason I went in the chat and was trolling him, the whole reason that I was up in his chat trolling him was because he had his fez on the table, trying to teach me something. You teaching me something, you got your fez on the table. The hell are you talking about? And then you, nothing on your head? And you didn't even be a Moor and just put the fez on and shut Kudro the hell up. Nah, kept the fez off, made the table wear your fez, and you're talking BS about I'm in the chat and I'm trying to get clients so we could sell them packages. In the chat, selling packages. No, I was in your chat trolling you. Because you had your fez on the table, and then what? He comes up to the guy, talk to the Supreme Grand Sheik now. Well, now that you're with the Supreme Grand Sheik now, you're still not wearing your fez. Now, what the? And again, only because saw that you're trying something slick. Noble Drew Ali told me to defend this because this is mine. So we're just defending this. Like, I'm not you people that just came yesterday. I'm not you people that just came yesterday, and I'm not these people who you're gonna talk BS and they're just gonna sit back and not tell you nothing like you could just talk some BS. No, sorry. It ain't going down like that. We don't give Dirty Moors passes. People know that by now. They know people who really wanna do whatever, they do that stuff in some secret or whatever. They don't have no YouTube page. They probably just have some little website or whatever, and then that's how they get their little people. And none of these people out here selling no packages and all that stuff pass by us. Because Cujo's everybody's GS. The Moors who's not even in the temple, I'm their GS. They have no even care to be a member of a temple, but Cujo's their GS though. Why? Because I'm not trying to rule them. It's your brother, like I special, title, whoever. But without GS, I'm still be repping. Don't need no GS to rep this. Don't need no temple. We'll put a different sign up there. We're doing the same stuff that we're doing right now. Teaching people about their Moors, teaching about their nationality, their birthrights, teaching people metaphysics, teaching people whatever it is that we teach them. Have a store with books, eating vegan food, whatever like that. You don't gotta have some Moor signs, temple sign to be Moors. You need no Moorish Divine National Movement sign to be Moors. But it's a game out here. It's a game out here. It could be serious, but people are not really serious. People want to play games. Right? All these losers should be riling up all the loser people, telling them, hey, you know what? Since you 10,000 people follow me and I see you in my chat and stuff like that, I retire. Go to rbbapublications.com to learn from now on and shut down all their stuff, shut down their website and go sleep somewhere instead of causing confusion. Like, do you know how when we look at what Noble Drew Ali had to go through, like what he had to go through to live, to carry out his work. It is extremely fascinating to me how many dirty Moors were around when Noble Drew Ali was around here in the flesh. Noble Drew Ali was in the flesh. And there was people that was his right hand man. That, however they got involved with taking that position of not backing him 100 and playing dirty or whatever, but they went 100 to make sure that this doesn't manifest into what it really was supposed to be. If we had manufacturing companies and whatever back then, where was this going if we had manufacturing companies and all that back then? And yeah, you would still be here. We would have still been born. We would have just been born Moors. That's all. We would have been born all these BS names that we got. So it's that time right now. We're going to play this thing and see this more fall on his sword, trying to play stuff. So we tell people, Allah guides this. Do not play. Don't think that this is some YouTube page guy. That's not what this is. Like, we, along with others, are really doing the work that is needed for our people. So don't think that we don't have divine protection to be able to be in many places at one time, because we are all on the same vibration. Once we really accept Noble Ali in our heart as our prophet, sent by our God to get us out of this mental slavery so we could start handling our own affairs. And too many, and it's not even that they're bringing anything into the Moorish movement. New Moors are coming into the movement and learning for 2 days and thinking they're somebody. Like, trust me. We remember, I was with Moor yesterday. We were laughing about it. 10 years ago, when we went to Chicago. And on the way back, on the bus, 14 hours. 14 hours never went so fast. We had 14 hours on a bus with this new information that we never heard about before. Books upon books upon books upon books, pages upon pages on pages, just loose leaf pages, just stuff, just info. Going through all this information, 14 hours, non-stop, non-stop. Lift up our head at border, did the passport, whatever, right back in it. Non-stop. Get back here on overload. Get back here like, you know what? Should have probably not did that. Because it was just too much. Because we looked at it like, quote unquote, newbies. This information is just like some black whatever. Even though we just came from a place where we saw people float, walking, looking like they're floating. You know what I mean? We saw people running red lights and stop signs and stuff like that or whatever. We saw crescent moons and stars in the sky, and we're like, what the hell is going on right now? Saw some stuff. And didn't really even digest all that. We just went to 14 hours. We should have took that 14 hours, did a detox. Just sat there and just thought about the past 2 days, like what happened the past 2 days. That's what should have happened. But it didn't happen. Because why? Because we were newbies. Thought we knew something. Thought we were somebody. We thought we put in our work. We put in jack. Just being a Negro that read some books. This is the worst kind of Negro. So, as newbies, we jumped the gun. As newbies, we jumped the gun. Because our first interaction with this information was 14 hours of this reading nonstop. That definitely gave us a serious foundation without even knowing that we were building a foundation. Those 14 hours of reading all that stuff, right? One of the books I read was because they gave me a Pleasant Bay, Exhuming of a Nation. I read that book on the ride back. That was one of the books. And it didn't take 14 hours to read that cover to cover. It's how crazy it was. So you can understand how crazy it was of 14 hours digesting this information. As newbies, just heard about this 4 days ago. And just happened to be around time of convention, and Moore said, yo, just go to convention. You know what I mean? Went there and disintegrated. Came back here as a glowing orb. Had to make my body back again. Yeah, that's a thick book, bro. But the first time we read that book, it was just it was really crazy. It was crazy. That Quran, Red Book. There was some lesson books in there. Like lots of different articles and just papers with different more stuff. FBI, some like pages from the FBI papers. Just crazy. Crazy. And again with that, being that we were newbies, but also into metaphysics or whatever, we weren't looking at it like some school of thought information. Like we looked at it as ours that we never heard about. You know? That's why in the early out, even when we were doing the black or whatever, people rep with us because we repped everything. You know what I mean? Our motto was that we are family, Nubian nation picture. That was our motto. you know. So when we got the Moorish information, even on that level, as I just said, that the We Are Family, back then having the We Are Family picture, knowing who everybody is on there, and that man Noble Drew Ali, and the there was two people on there that we always used to say. I think it was those two. I think it was Drew Ali and Pedro Campos. They were like, yo, who the hell are they? Like, what do you mean? Like, who are these people? But didn't even go into researching it. It was just whatever. You know what I mean? We're repping the unity of all our different schools of thought in one thought, right? Now, for people who want to comprehend better, when we say newbies, we're not talking about like anything to do with being Moors or all that. When we say newbies, we're talking about people who got this information and then they ran out there trying to be the scholar of the whatever, when they don't even have the stuff straight right. That's what we're talking about, newbies. We're talking about Johnny come latelys. Now, in what Noble Drew Ali said, talking about new Moors, for example, coming with their eyes wide open, new Moors are individuals who were Negro, black, colored, and all that. They realize that they're not that, and they're making their transition into finding out about their Moorish history and eventually proclaiming their nationality and becoming what it is that they know. Which, you know, whenever the end of the line is, you would know, you know, whatever it is that day. Because, you know, people always go on their deathbed and then they say that they're sorry for all the BS that they did. So we can't really take them out yet. You know, they might repent. But new Moors are individuals that are unconscious, ones that are unconscious and are getting into this information now. Ultimately, because this has been around for as long as it's been around and we're just finding out about it, even if we just found out 50 years ago, yes, we are all new Moors. But when you say what happened to the old Moors, a lot of them came back again in new Moors. So that's why Noble Drew Ali made reference to those who were with him back then would be with him today. And those who were against him back then would be against him today. So it's not necessarily that info has been lost. But again, look at it again. You say, you know, regardless of what old Moors you're talking about, some of those Moors are back here doing the same BS or doing the same good that they were doing when they were here the first time or the third time or the 25th time. The amount of time that they came here. A Moor is any dark-skinned person, especially an African Negro. So anybody before Noble Drew Ali who was an African Negro or an African or an Asian or an Arab, they were a Moor. So your problem is that you're looking for more. Don't look for more. That's the word that they use to hide your stuff. So they're not going to put that word out. But look up Berber. Look up Saracen. Look up history of the Saracens, history of the Berbers, history of the Arabs, history of the Muslims. All that is Moors that they're talking about. All that is Moors. Right? So not being able to find the information of Moors before Noble Drew Ali, then that's what, like, it's not rocket science. If you want to go find something, you go read. Those sound like nations and nationalities. So to say more is still to be stateless. How are you stateless if you have a nationality? What do you mean stateless? Okay, let's do it like this. You're trying to make sense of this information. What doesn't make sense? What doesn't make sense? Pick one thing that doesn't make sense so we could try to help it make sense to you. Well, it's put that they are all different. But when you go look up Arabs and look up Berbers and look up Saracens, they're going to tell you those are dark-skinned people. So they're really not different like that. It's like you have all the different brands of shoes. They're still shoes, regardless of what brand it is. It's footwear. So same thing. No matter what they're saying is the name. If you look at them and they're a dark-skinned person, that's a Moor. That's how it made sense to me. A Berber's nationality might be Sudanese. An Arab's nationality might be Palestinian. Asian's nationality might be Moro. It's real simple. No, I don't have to say more because they are dark-skinned people. So if you look up in the dictionary black or more, it's going to tell you black with a small a and then a capital M-O-O-R. So that lets you know that Moor is the actual name. Moor. Black is the identifier. So you don't have to say black or more. Leave black or more off and just say Moor. Okay, when you say Moor, you're talking about somebody who is shade of the olives. Olive shade. Olive shade. Moors. Moor can only mean black if you're Greek. If you're not Greek, Moor doesn't only mean black. So FOH with that. You could prove that Moor means black. Yeah, you can. But that's only in Greek. That's only from a Greek perspective that you can do that. Oh no, I said more means dark skinned people, not dark colored people, because colored means fake. So I didn't say dark fake people. I see you try to slide that one in there because you thought, just like this guy, you thought that, you know, we're some clowns or something. Have you even read the stuff, the answers people are giving you in the chat, Mike? Sometimes I dream that he is me. I just want to be like Mike. I'm here right now, Mike. I'm not doing nothing. Just chilling, building with my family. Then you came up in here talking crazy. I did. I never said Moors are colored people. You're telling lies now. I said Moors are dark-skinned people. And you asked what is their nationality, and I said an Arab's nationality might be Palestinian. I said a Berber's nationality might be Sudanese. You know that a Sudanese is a dark-skinned person. Oh, now you're thinking. Yes, all dark-skinned people are of one nation. Yes, now you're thinking. All dark-skinned people are of one nation. What's it called? The Moorish nation. It encompasses the globe. Not because we say so. The Indians in India are Moors. Go ask them. Why do you think Sikhs wear turbans with the pyramid on the front over their pineal gland? And it's purposely wrapped like that because they're Moors. Look at the Mauryan dynasty in India. Mauryan. Mauryan. You tell me they're not Moors? Or are you going to lie and say that's something different? So if there are Moors in India and there's Moors in the Philippines, how come you jackasses in North America are calling yourself something that you're not? When everybody else is saying that they're Moors. Only you people. Only you people, you know, Mike. We'll have to get Mario to send some of that troll spray. When you ask an Indian what's their nationality, they're going to tell you they don't have a nationality, and they'll tell you what tribe they're in. Where are these people you say admit it? Admit to what? You're not questioning, you're not questioning bullshit. Your questions are bullshit. And you don't like the answers that you get for your bullshit questions. Indian comes from India. It's the shoes. It's the shoes. Oh yeah, we're liars. I'm lying on the floor. I'm a liar. I'm lying on the futon. Mother Name's lying in bed. Mike, you're green, buddy. You're green. You really are green. Oh boy. Mike. Mike. Mike, this is not one of those guys chat, huh, Mike? This is not one of those guys chat. Real tears, brother Davi. Real tears. Yes, we're corny. Yes, we're corny. We're so corny, but you're here being corny with us. We might be corny, but your toes are the corniest of all, Mike. Mike, your feet are corny. FOH. What the hell are you doing over here? If we're so corny, why are you over here, Mike? Go somewhere. Mike, go somewhere. We got stuff to do.
Next question.
Okay, looks like we have 3 questions left.
All right, we got 3 questions left. Got 3 questions left.
One, somebody asked, is there a connection to the Moors here, to the Moors or unconscious Moors in Canada, the Caribbean, South America, like my wife, for example?
Okay.
So the question was, is there a connection between unconscious Moors in Canada and whatever, right? So he's asking a question about unconscious Moors in different places. Like, what's the connection? Now check the answer. Remember, he's asking him about Puerto Rico and all that. Just back it up again.
That was there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did I give a good answer?
Yes, sir. Islam.
Okay. What's the next question?
Okay, looks like we have 3 questions left. One, somebody asked, is there a connection to the Moors here, to the Moors or unconscious Moors in Canada, the Caribbean, South America, like my wife, for example?
Okay.
No. The answer is going to be interesting. But before we get the answer, just remember, always keep in mind that these people start talking about Canadas and stuff like that, and they're Moors, and they're not putting Canada in some brackets or putting a so-called or whatever in front of Canada. They're just talking like that's another country in North America. Then you know that they're not really going with Canaanland. Sincere people, on its face, you know they mean us when they say Canada and they're asking about Moors. They're not talking about some corporation. They know that if Moors are in the conversation and Canada comes up, we're the reference point to Moors in Canada. Even though we know Canada's corporation, but in the world of the dummies and the zombies that push a button to learn, they don't go read. They push a button to learn, and whatever they got, that's what they're running with. Know that these people know exactly what it is that they're doing. These people are yellow journalists with Moorish banners. Now look what happens when, just look what happens.
No, not with this grandbody. But I know those Moors in Canada. I've talked with them. And they've actually called me Supreme Grand Chief. Him?
No, where's that part? What? He wasn't done talking. He wasn't done talking. See that there's a jump and a fade right here, because these are people who are stupid and they're not gonna check you when you try to do your little yellow journalism. Because the average Joe is gonna say, well, damn, if he knows the Moors in Canada and they call him Supreme Grand Sheik, then those must be some Moors in Canada to know. If you're gonna know any Moors in Canada, it's gonna be the Moors that the Supreme Grand Sheik knows. Why? Because he's down with the lineage of Noble Drew Ali and he's repping for Canaanland. But they don't want that because too much probably, you know, he probably went into the conversations about stuff we might talk about when we talk. It's not about some BS about some Moor Science Temple records. Say, Elder, how you doing, man? Moors out there treating you good and helping you get your stuff and up the stairs and all that. All right, proper. That's conversation. And then that's it. 2 minutes. You don't need to talk about anything other than that. Might ask 1 or 2 questions, some clarity on some historical things, but no drawn out 5 hours on the phone with Supreme Grand Sheik because he's Supreme Grand Sheik and I'm Grand Sheik, so I'm gonna. No. That's the elder. And this guy used the elder. That's what I call him out because he knows, like we're saying, he dropped it himself. I know those more. You know, he wasn't asking no questions about Canaanland and Canaanland Moors or nothing like that. He was just asking a general question. Hey, is there a connection between Moors here and Moors in Canada and Puerto Rico and whatever? And Supreme Grand Sheik starts talking about Canaanland Moors? Remember, he's probably one of the oldest surviving individuals that was close enough to the Prophet to smell him. To know which oil the Prophet was wearing. To have gotten a Quran that Prophet probably just pressed the seal in it a couple years ago. Regardless of what. Man's elder. Forget title BS. All the title BS is bigger than titles. I mean, you so-called whoever's. How many of you could say, you know what? There were some Moors that were new to this, and you know, I just told them like it was. Those are the ones you hold on to. Anybody else playing games with you, trying to get you to sway from the Moors who are dealing with this civic-minded. We're dealing with this based in contracts and law and rights. That's the direction we go with this. We don't go with the singing and all that. We don't go with all these Moors coming together for all these years for a meeting and Moors have nothing. 900 years gone by and Moors ain't done nothing. Just sing hymns to this man. Right? These are the people trying to get over on you because they want to sell you some hats. I don't care about the birthright. Man's not even wearing his fez with the Supreme Grand Sheik. And that's how you know how lopsided people's perspective is. And this is not no thing about, you know what I mean, like try to berate or downgrade somebody or whatever. Because there's Moors who 6 years ago, they would have killed me if they seen me. But what? After they go do their research or whatever like that, 2 years ago, they're coming back talking about, hey, man, that day on Facebook, man, I was holding my freaking stuff on me. I was holding it while I was talking to you on the freaking computer because I wanted to kill you, man. Because how dare you come at me like that? Like I'm some punk or whatever. And go do his own research, realize how much of a punk that he was. Came back and apologized. He said, yo, you were right the whole goddamn time. Same thing the Moor said when he wrote Brother Moreno Bay from prison and told him, I was debating with Moors. Wasting my goddamn time. The Moors are right. The whole time Moors are right. And I was a dumbass following these other dumbasses. And look where it got me. Guilty by association. Because I should have been with the Moors. Now I'm paying for it. Because I was with some clown Moors who some clown didn't say, I have a gun under the seat. For me as a Moor to say, well, you know what I mean? I'm going to take the bus or whatever like that. You got to do your thing. You already know how energy attracts to Moors. Positive and negative. So you better know what the hell's around you so you don't draw too much of what you don't want. You say certain boys, tell boys that they're hermit or whatever. The boy's not no hermit. The boy knows that as soon as he walks out the door, it's freaking all the stuff that's been waiting for him. That he knows that they're only coming just to leech. They're not coming to try to do whatever. All they're coming for is to leech. Forget that. Getting these books, get my armor up before I go out there. Thicken my skin before I go out there. Skin so thick I have a suit of leeches on me. And they're not even touching me. Because skin's thick. Because we season the mind with knowledge. We're not playing around with this. We are really the ones that the ancestors told all you people is going to come back or whatever to save your ass. The RV bays, the Moreno bays, the Moorish directory.coms, the Moorish civil letter.coms. Little ones. Return of the ancient ones. You tell me, Seer's not an ancient one? You tell me the stuff that you went and researched that he talked about, that you found out about, you never ask yourself, how come you never bumped into this info ever? Not a game out here. This stuff been lock, stock, and barrel. People playing, opening stuff after we seal it up. After we close it up, come back and we see stuff's open, stuff's missing. And people are pretending like it wasn't them. I wasn't the one to cause confusion. I didn't cause the confusion. Watch for the glitch.
Is there a connection to the Moors here, to the Moors or unconscious Moors in Canada, the Caribbean, South America, like my wife, for example?
Okay.
From Puerto Rico and Haiti.
No, not with this grandbody. But I know those Moors in Canada. I've talked with them. And they've actually called me Supreme Grand Chief. Yeah. And one.
Right? We need that glitch right there. We need that. Because, again, this is the Supreme Grand Sheik telling you. Oh, you had a conversation with Canaanland Moors. Does that sound like he's going to say we're dirty Moors or something like that? Because if anybody knows Bailey, I already know he doesn't hold his tongue and stuff like that. You guys look at this picture, you think he's an elder or whatever like that. He'll cuss you and tell you to go wherever you have to go. Again, because he's an elder. He's old school. You're not on the newbie train because you're just finding out about him. You've never seen him before. And you think that, oh, wow, this new guy with a YouTube page pulled out the Supreme Grand Sheik to do an interview on his film. Oh, this guy must be really a Moor. He's the Moor. He's really the Moor. He's not the Moor. Playing. cut the stuff off. So you don't get to hear what was really said. How come you cut that off? I have to ask him.
But Leo got it in that one of his books. In one of his books. He has those methods. In one of his books. But did I answer the question that was asked?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did I give a good answer?
Yes, sir. Islam.
Okay. What's the next question?
Okay, looks like we have 3 questions left. One, somebody asked, is there a connection to the Moors here, to the Moors or unconscious Moors in Canada, the Caribbean, South America, like my wife, for example?
Okay.
From Puerto Rico, I hate.
No, not with this grandbody. But I know those Moors in Canada. I've talked with them. And they've actually called me Supreme Grand Chief.
Right, so he's even using us. Of all these Moors out here, there's Moors in Puerto Rico. There's Moors in other jurisdictions, in the islands and all that. We never had brought them up, I had no conversation with them. From Canaanland, he knows. Because I personally called out to him out of respect for the elder. And he was even surprised I had got his number. I started to, couldn't press palms with him, but I could say that I talked to that elder that would smell in the prophet's cologne and stuff. And it wasn't a bad conversation. And that's really why I called, just to check, because people been talking BS. And I thought, hey, I'm with the prophet 100. I mean, keep in touch, keep doing what it is you're doing. I mean, thank you. No dissing, no whatever. No, again, we're talking about Supreme Grand Sheik now. I hating on some Canaanland Moors. He's just happy to see that I came up under the right Moors. The Jabbar Gaines L's and the Daweed Ali L's, the Kenji Umar Bays, the Aki Bays. Came up under the Moors who took what it is the old Moors were doing, sat them in the back, and carried out the law. That's the Moors that brought us up. And the old Moors were fine going in the back because the Moors who had the reins, they proved that they had it locked. And the elders could chill. That's why he didn't have to hear about who Supreme Grand Sheik was or whatever. And he could just do whatever work it is that he's supposed to do in private. Because Moors are handling their own affairs. And it's not a fiction. That's real. None of that BS about, you know, he's the supreme. He can say who's legit, who's not legit. Ain't none of them talks. Why? Because he knows us. We had a conversation on the phone or whatever. Why? Because there's respect there. There's something that Noble Drew Ali laid down, that the two beings that are in their own right in legitimate positions of the Moorish divine and national movement. They can see the bigger thing of what this is about, which is getting the info to the people. So, you know, since you're doing that, I really can't tell you anything other than keep doing what you're doing. And so don't let Johnny come latelys try to make it seem like they know the top guy, and the top guy is talking down on, because even Canaanland Moors calls him Supreme Grand Sheik. And then he has this look on his face like, oh, so you guys recognize him as Supreme Grand Sheik? Yeah, why wouldn't we recognize him as Supreme Grand Sheik? That's what he is, and he's really the one who's in the line that's really in the position of power. Why wouldn't we honor? But just like Noble Drew Ali, we know dirty Moors surround him. And only because he's an elder is why he's not out the seat yet. Just like when Noble Drew Ali was around. It's going to be crazy when that seat's vacant. You think it's crazy? That's why. These Moors were telling you years ago, before we were on this. Moors were telling you that this is divine and then national. That once you accept the reality that divine is first, you already know divine on a downward vibration is going to manifest something messed up. So you'll do your best to keep things divine. That's a more scientist. That's the alchemy. Don't taint the divine with your lower vibratory BS, trying to be a YouTube #1 guy with 50 billion followers or whatever. Like that means something. The only thing that means something is the people who you touch personally. If you touch somebody personally from 80 million miles away or 55 billion light years away, then you did something. Don't tell me you put your hand up with a light and 50 billion people just surrounded you and you guys just stood there, and then that means that you're somebody. I mean jack. You're just standing there holding a light. What are these people going to be doing? Following you with this light? That's what you wanted? 50 billion people just following you with a light. You don't even know where the hell you're going. Trust me, all these people, all these weeds in the garden, all these weeds in the garden are going to stifle and just fade away like they didn't even exist. And we're telling you they're sent. They have to be sent. There's no other explanation for it. There's no explanation for it. They have to be sent. There's no way that they're not sent. There's no way. It's impossible that they're not sent. that there's Moors in the fire right now. You think you're in the fire? There's Moors in the fire right now. Ah, just fucking burning. That's burning. It's burning. But, you know, no scars though. No scars. But they're burning though. Because it's crazy out here. It is crazy out here. You better do your burning outside of these people's institution, these people's complex. Stay out of that thing. Exercise your birthright wherever you want, but if it kind of looks like it might lead there, you might want to just, you know, find something to make that look like nothing fast. Yes, it's very messed up. But yeah, they're trying every weak mind. They're trying every weak mind. So the mind has to be strong if they're trying weak minds. Yeah. It is a must. It is a must that you study and get yourself squared away. Do not let these people do something nuts and you're guilty by association. Because there's no getting off the dirty ship when the ship's sinking. If you're on the ship, you're going down with the ship. You're going down with the ship if that ship is dirty, so don't be on the ship. Right? And again, that's why, you know, trying to use people to get traffic to their little page or whatever to think that they do something. Because we know putting people out will make them famous. So we'll make people famous. Because we know what famous is. There's no conscious famous. There's no conscious fame. There's none of that. If they're giving you the illusion of some conscious fame, they got some stuff going on that you don't know about. So you better check and then fact check before you step into anything. Because as much as it's your birthright, there's people here that are gonna play you out of it. And they're gonna play you out of it in more face. They're thinking they're down with some birthrights or whatever, and they're only down for their own selfish need and gain. An honest day's work is how much people did you help today? That's an honest day's work. An honest day's work is, did you read a book today? You read a page? If you didn't read a book. You ever read a page today? Stop the plan. It's already done. It's already finished. All the people playing, just stop it. Get down with the movement. Be down with the movement. Be down with some positive vibrations. And there was there might not be class tomorrow because we got practice. So you know what we did today. You know, today was a cover-up class. You always know that the Moors are out here and they are studying. Now, I don't know. When we talk about Moorish, since we started on the Fez, to be a good one. Very interesting how many people really respect and give honors to the headwear. It's a beautiful thing to know that we have a culture and that our culture is so vast, and we just have to give thanks. We just have to give thanks for keeping the spirit alive, for knowing that we have actually tied ourselves to something that, who knows how far this thing goes back. This is not some European thing. This is really ours. Islam to the Moors out there who study and always give us something to show the people, to prove the point, and to stress the facts. We all know that we're Moors. One of these dummies in North America are playing games. Everyone knows what's up. Everyone knows what's up. Only us playing games. Only us playing games. One's in North America. We want to accept the facts. It's not some we just picked up this thing. Just picked this up so they were Moors. Just picked this up yesterday and just said they were Moors. They look like there's some stuff they picked up yesterday. Or this looks like their culture that spans who knows how long. You got feathers up like that. Feathers like that? Nah. These are the feathers that they're repping? That's not a fez. Okay, well, how about you dress like a Muslim? That doesn't look like some African stuff. That looks like some Hindu stuff. Huh? What's that over there? I didn't hear you, black guys. They're from Africa, guys. Oh, nothing, huh? Nothing? It's quiet? Hmm. Wow. Hmm. Interesting. Tell me all these people with fezzes, they're still not convinced? They're still in denial? Again, for people like Mike Moore, any dark-skinned person. We just went through many dark-skinned people who we know they're not from this side and they got fezzes on. In joy, in happiness, in love. Not nothing negative, not something Masonic, not Illuminati or nothing like that. Why can't you accept it then? It's us telling you. Why won't you accept it? We only beat you up because we love you. You know what I mean? Remember the ones that were borderline abuse, you know what I mean? That in this day and age, you know, we know we're glad we got the licks. You know. Drawley said he just might kill you if you just don't want to accept it. Because What else is? If you're not gonna be more, what use are you? Is basically what he's saying. Like, how are those the options, and people aren't going toward nationality? Like, so the prophet came, you know what I mean? Had the Morpheus chair, whatever, like that. 2 pills. One pill, nationality and birthrights. Next pill, you're beep. Well, I think I'm gonna go with the really. That's the choice you picked of 2. So everything is worse, or everything is better than being a Moor. Moor is the worst thing on the planet that you would ever do. Say you're a Moor, and that's like the gravest sin. You see, these people complaining in fezzes. They look like they're complaining in some fezzes to you. Oh, so you're telling me they're complaining in some fezzes, right? Anybody who has some issue with Moors and they think whatever, and you're in the chat, you really tell me that you're going to look at this picture. You're going to see this mother wearing a fez, and you're going to say there's something other than Moors? Like, they're wearing fezzes. Don't you guys say Moors wear fezzes and all that? Hey man, I don't know if... No, it wasn't today. It was some other day in the chat. Didn't somebody bring up that in the chat, the house with the clock in the wall? In some other chat a couple of days ago? I know for sure it wasn't Supremust. I think somebody put that in the chat the other day. So, yeah, where we find that one? You go check that out. The house with the clock in the wall. For all the movie Moors out there, like to watch stuff. The house with the clock in the wall. Look that one up. So yeah, the mother's wearing the fez. You already know that they're Moors, because you always say when you see Moors that we wear the fez. And the fez came from the Masons and all that stuff. Like they're worried about some fez coming from some Masons. They look worried. Oh, the fez came from some Masons. Oh my gosh, let's just sit here doing our ceremony and worry about Masons wear fezzes, so we're not gonna wear fezzes. F-O-H, please. Go somewhere with that. Even looking at you like you're crazy. What do you mean you're no more? Other ladies, they're not even paying no damn attention to you stupid people. You want to be more. They're not even giving you any attention. One lady sneak looking at you. What more you want? Doesn't get deeper than that. Just get deeper than that. Look at this. Wake up, sleepy. Sleepy. Time to wake up. Time to wake up, sleepy. That's not a fans. All right. All right, man. All right. It's not. It's a hat. It's just a hat. It's just a hat. That's all. Nothing to do with our culture. It's just this hat. Nothing. Throw it away. Throw it in the garbage. Anybody who wears one, they're crazy. Because that's not real culture. That came from some Europeans in some lodge. Weirdos out here. I'm talking to Moors. Keep studying, Moors. And remember, do not endanger your life with a fool. People are learning hard lessons nowadays, not following that rule. Do not endanger your life with a fool in these days and times. If you know that you are not Negro, black, colored, do not associate with people who are that on some real close and intimate levels. Make sure people have their minds right if they're around you. Because people have so many spirits on them that they are drawing all types of energy to them. And you do not want these people around you in these times. Who don't hear will feel. And you don't want to feel right now. Right. And then make sure you read your other Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and Moorish Science Temple of America too. Yeah, that Quran. Yeah. I don't really deal with that other Quran. I know the authority and stuff like that, but I don't know. I don't know. It's like Bibles. Just doesn't rub me right. I'll take the punishment of read the Holy Quran of Moorish Science Temple of America 500 times to not read some other holy book that they say is a holy book or whatever. Take a long walk off the short plank. Long walk. Love to all the Moors. Make sure you keep your mind childlike. Don't fall into the hole. Oh yeah, let's actually read something before we close out. Let's raise sign. All right. Of the Caste code color game. Of the Caste code color game, page 27. Truth about your birthrights. Can be picked up at rvbaypublications.com. Color, according to law, means an appearance, a semblance, or a simulacrum, as distinguished from that which is real. Color is a prima facie or an apparent right, and thus is a deceptive appearance, being or having a plausible assumed exterior and concealing a lack of reality, being a disguise or pretext. Oh yeah. Since we're talking about color, might as well. Show you colorable journalism of these guys. Color also has a connotative role in slave-deluding demo culture of North America. Under European demo politics, the word and phrases color, colored people, and people of color combine as social fraud and another nom de guerre additive and are, by their nature and intent, man of straw monikers used in slave-deluding practices. So, the slave-deluding practice of enslaving yourself, or how it was eloquently put by Jeru, playing yourself, is because you started off in color. And once you start in color, it could go any way. No fez on. Yeah, well, I'm still a Moor even without the fez. Yeah, but it's the principle. And this is why. Because certain people don't want to, like, me and certain Moors, we build about it all the time. How come they just don't stick to the principle? First principle, start there. Try and do all this stuff and then you even master the first principle? And then mad when stuff's not how it's supposed to be? You're not even on the second, third, fourth, fifth principle yet. Still on the first one, trying to get through that. Can't get through that because there's so much color. There's so much artificiality that you're actually thinking you're talking with Moors, and then you realize, hold on a second, they're the head of the whatever Moorish stuff, and you don't even have a turban on. You're the head of the Moorish stuff? I mean, James, yeah, I'm James, and I'm the head of the Aboriginal whatever. I'm James. You're James. And you're the nation of the whatever that's in the Dawes rules or whatever. Okay. So I'll stick to what Noble Juali said. Too much color around here. And Noble Juali said not Negro black color. Well, there's so much color. If Noble Juali said don't be colorable. Because you're not colored. So why people being colored if you're not that? That's a mind twister. If you're not colored, why are you being colored? Woo! Think on that one all night. That revolving door. If you're not colored, why are you being colored? The caste code color is also used to socially and politically remove and deliberately targeted natural people from the benefits of high culture society, economic security, from freedom, and from self-governance. Moors of North America, who have been groomed under Demo-European controlled education and misinformation, were trained through successive generations to falsely believe that colored means a legitimate nation of people like others and a legitimate part of the human family from Africa. Of course, nothing could be further from the truth. Facts. No Negro-Desia country exists on planet Earth. No Blackadonia country exists on planet Earth. And no Colourdinia country exists anywhere in the world, nor can any such a disparate nation of people be found in human history, nor possess a national flag, a national seal, nor a constitution. But a naive, miseducated, and subjugated people, Moors, who were deliberately and artificially forced into a state of illiteracy, had little to no political options to bring remedy to their social, economic, political, and artificially induced colored status. The colonizing Christians, Europeans, had stripped the Moors of all and any land, gold, or other wealth. All that was Moorish was confiscated. The Negro and colored man of straw tags and the corporate fiction status involves veiling the existence of and imposing the firmly held life, debasing, and undignified condition of black code systems. These codes were adopted by all U.S. demo corporate states. The Christian black codes are deemed silent war tools and are administered toward the separation of the civically neutered persons. The defeated and fictive classified beings from knowing of and associating with the illustrious history of their forefathers and the high cultural knowledge of civilization. It is the policy of the occupational U.S. demos to bureaucratically keep the indigenous Moors in an unconscious mental state and to hold them under the black, nigger, and colored brands. This status keeps them away from executive, operative, governing affairs of self-authority, or from having unlimited control of any serious administrative effects involving high-level governance. These policies apply particularly to the extended human family or within the broader international community. Lacking an authentic knowledge of the sortilege uses of the deviant U.S. demo color game and of the legal fictions, Negro, Black, Colored, Latino, West Indian, etc., denies one of a clear understanding and insight into true law, true history, and the authentic truth about high culture, which promoted civilization. That suppressed high culture, knowledge, is vital and key to maintaining human progress and to sustain the successes of Western social and political advancements and developments. The success of the Inquisition brought about the condition in the world which enabled the Demo-Europeans to socially, economically, and politically suppress the trade places with the Moors who once ruled the world and the seven seas. Peace and love to all Moors. FOH to dirty Moors. And honors to all who have been standing up for their nationality and birthrights. Islam to all those who have taken time to build with other Moors who needed a word of inspiration or needed an ear to vent to. Islam to all the Moors who look at their brothers and sisters as brothers and sisters for real, and rep it like that's what it is. We are a nation. Islam to all the Els and Beys, all the fezzes and turban wearers, everywhere. Islam to all. Peace and love to all the Moors who study and continue to study just so that they can know themselves, which would help them know others, which will allow them to be out of BS. Again, don't play around with us. We're not those Moors. If you're really game for this, make a video, call out your folly ways, and go back wherever you came from and be a Moor there. And keep playing around with trying to make it look like those ones really don't look good to me. And certain people's funny style, it's just not, certain things aren't going to be allowed just because. Like stuff is actually riding now. It's not even, it's actually manifest. Like things are actually manifest right now. Two more put their head together, something manifest tomorrow. It's crazy right now. And we know that it's because we've been on the frequency. We haven't changed tunes. Harmony might be different, but it's the same old song. The same old song. This is not about anything other than the people getting their nationality and their birthrights. Learning about that. Giving them the tools for them to learn about that. And then take off the freaking leash and let them run. You're riding their back forever. Let them run. Let the bird leave the nest. You want to go get worms? Do your thing. You know? Birthrights. Islam to all the Moors, everywhere, that reps for some Canaanland. Keep in mind willofalah.com. Willofalah.com for all the music, the Moorish MC, Iron Sheik music, and Khalifa Media. And Khalifa Media. Khalifa with a C. Khalifa Media. Islam was
both are interconnected. Much like when Neo woke up in the film The Matrix, the view is not necessarily pleasant once the illusions, buffers, and programs have been dislodged. Only truth will set us free.
What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth? What is the truth?
Oh, I tell you, the truth is, if you're hating, you're not related. No cape and super. Without the hero, here's no shift shaping. Word hieroglyph, spiral lift. This is not makeshift or artificial. Rap game won't leave me crippled. Rapper lies on tracks like holes on backs. The fact, Elephant Man even wearing mini skirts and fanny packs. Bad man dressed like cross-dressing too often. Dirty Moors need a toothbrush. Too much flossing. Still, they won't quit. That's the truth. NBA slave concentration camps auction to Ronald youth. Every owner is a sterling. Whatever they earning, soulless, no less than more. When I rhyme, I'm learning and teaching. This isn't preaching, verses stretching and reaching. Those avoiding rap guys' lies and truth seeking. Rappers got fans sleeping as time's bleaking. These three truths on one line mountain would make it weaken.
I don't know what else to say. Gotta start acting my age. Music vintage today, but fine tuning is cray. Balance all moves on ones and twos. Choose your own adventure to be smooth, smoother than any other. Indirectly create you. Just gotta let the world hear me. Clearly, I ain't average. Dumb on the album. With a late speak. Too greasy, grizzly looking with a wielding a sword. Not to be ignored. We're in a state of emergence. Get to the times. Flow with the current. Surging through the studio equipment. Use your time wisely and pay the bills for the electricity. Dedicated to those who know the possibilities are endless without the bribery. Basic needs is having no tricks up the sleeve. Be realer than anyone can be. Be you, be another. Be the unsigned hype that's newly discovered. Don't let them down this summer. Catch them off guard with numbers and letters upon which they never slumbered. Abundance is what I keep them like a plunder. Fumbles don't occur when you wanna humble. The refresher and nerves. They like, take a look at this nerd.
Can't rep Scarborough since the amalgamation. Where you see city of is a corporation for real. Jane and Finch is an intersection, not a hood or a block or a community where a youth got shot, but back to the borough. Sean Rose Guard, a park with cut grass, wonderful councilmen, hip-hop engineers and ras. Not given to get or live in regret. Busy elevator, shroud light starts and sunsets. Got youths in the bubble vest, fake leather uptowns. Big shades and hats, skinny jeans showing butt clowns. Yeah, I said it. And what now? You're gonna buck rounds, disarm and butt clowns after I rush clowns. Everybody's a potential age and I was once even. Friends stabbed up from phlegm or beefing with region. Ancestors protected me, driving from clubs weaving. Not to wrap my car around the pole, leave my mom's grieving. Repping colors and blocks and gang signs we dying for. An innocent bystander, the sons you're crying for. When son's wearing that big hat, they call fitted and charged. I who done it, say the moral did it. Tell them 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 the moral did it. The corporation of the city of Scarborough. Only on blue street signs with Toronto. In conspiracy, off fact, no theory. I see them tobogganing down Iroquois burial mounds. No more block repping if it's not a Mexo. Northwest Latin, longitude line, no colors I'm repping. And when I'm repping, it's every color in the spectrum. If you want beef, Mother Nature is my weapon. The storm is not X-Men, but I'm Morocco Meccan. Big nose and big lips in the face section. What they repping as fashion from Gaylord Taylors. Thanking fake Christ for awards and they rain in paper and using mind control, got the soul mental rapers. When you rep a block, become a gold scaper. Can't rep blocks nowadays, these codes of the streets. Got youths going to jail for gun clapping on peeps, playing a role or lay in the hole or do some dead time. Government cops want your cost for paying debt time. Make sure you rep the right block as a whole. See your son acting like a Lil Wayne rapper clone. Got you scratching your head wondering what this is. Who made your offspring scapegoats by calling them kids? Corporations own jails and put in the biggest bids. Human resources has been big businesses. Tell them the moral did it. 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 Yeah. Right away. Right away. Yo, Tone, feeling this one. I ain't shit. Right away. Rapper in position. What? Right away. Rapper in position. My favorite comics are like Dave Chappelle, turn down cash. Like Tommy Davidson and Severe Bay, take you to class. It's not about just jokes, acts, George Carlin. Or like in Black Knight, the more was Lawrence Martin. Hurt your feelings facing death as in a true romance. Lyrical punic war, rappers one-on-ones for romance. It's mostly homo singing when it comes to slow jams. No more 93.5 mind control programs. Listen for a minute. I suggest no more, cause 1 second over make you hum songs you don't care for, artists you don't care for, you can't prepare for. They do some crazy acts and just slap the floor. I do believe some change, most say they can't, or quick to go to church on Sunday, clasp in hand, buying acts and grand, zombies pack the stands, leaving children, babysitting children, I hack the plans. I am MC, not a tight pants rapper man. It's still boom by the heads of Batty man. That's rapping and left hung lines by widow spider's thread. I flow like growing smoke, I'm kinda red. With no ECE, put nursery rappers rhymes to bed. If they give a contract, soul, sign you're dead. Real MC, deeper than rap Aquaman. Play my Euro when I flow, not a cracker man.